Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. This is day 3 with my Mustang. We started out just with some petting and you can tell she is an absolute sweetheart and is really snuggly. Then I put her halter on and she is just such a goofball, honestly. I worked on leading some. She's pretty good with it, but here she got a little bit stuck and started backing up some, so I just kind of gently asked her to come forward until she kind of got out of it. The first day she would pull away sometimes, but she was doing really good and never actually pulled away ever again. And here she finally comes forward. I also started desensitizing her to the flag moving. She was fine with it on her, but I hadn't done this yet with it moving. And I also started desensitizing her to my movement, which I know looks really funny, but it's an important step. As I come up to her here, you can see she gets a little bit concerned, so it's definitely something we need to work on. So she is actually always way better when I back away, so she's more confident to come towards me when I'm doing something scary if I'm moving away from her. And back to Snuggles. This is definitely always her favorite part of the session. So on this day, I believe I tried to lunge her for the first time ever. She was a little confused to start with, but you can see she figured it out really quickly and didn't get worried or anything. The other way she was way more confused. She tends to get a lot more confused on this side, which is why it's so important to do both. You could see she got a little concerned and I had to really add energy, but she quickly figured it out. This time she got it much quicker. Once she figures things out, she's got it good and she's just fine. Got a pretty nice hindquarter yield here as well. And I just kind of went back and forth between doing lots of exercises and switching from thing to thing. I just kind of do whatever I feel like we should work on in the moment. Here we have her first time trotting on the circle. She was perfect for that. I love that she wasn't really trying to pull away or anything and came back to me very nicely. Again, she was a little more confused going to the right, but figured it out pretty soon. I would have ended in that, but then her hindquarters kind of ended up towards me, and I didn't want to end on that, so I asked her to go one more time and tried to get a better halt at the end. And this was way better with a good hindquarter yield. After that, we bounced back to desensitizing, and I know it looks absolutely hilarious, but bear with me as I do some valuable desensitizing. She was a little bit concerned, so I just kept at it and then released when she stood still. And yes, I was sore the next day. Finally taking a break. At the end of the session, I just went and sat outside of her pen a little bit, and she came and investigated my foot.
Oh my goodness. Hey. Hey.
So I'm also including day 4 in this. I started out with just some groundwork and a little bit of liberty, and then afterwards I went straight to working on picking up her hooves. I ran my hand down her leg and then just waited for her to pick it up, which she did very nicely.
Good girl. Good.
I decided to do some leading by the feet as well. You can see she was a little bit unsure of it on her foot to start with, but she figured it out pretty quickly. So what I'm asking is for her to give to the pressure and take a step forward. It really prepares them for getting their feet picked up, and it's really important that they get their hooves done because they're super long. She did really good there, so I let it come off her hoof. She's already doing really well with picking up her front hooves. She started trying to pull away a little bit here, but then she finally gave and I released it right away. And it's bound to be confusing for her because she doesn't understand that her hooves need to be trimmed. But the sooner we can get those picked up, the sooner we can help her be able to move comfortably and easily. This one was really nice. I finally got around to detangling her mane. She had some huge mats in there, so I brushed it out with my fingers and then with a brush. And finally after that, rubbed some cowboy magic in and got her looking so pretty. I ran out in front to try to get her to prick her ears, and she was not too amused. She was just like, "What is my crazy human doing?" So more desensitizing it is. I had brushed her with my hands a lot, but this was my first time introducing her to the curry comb and dandy brush. After that, I worked on some lunging, and she was actually feeling pretty fresh. Worked on a few of the basics and ended there. So whenever the other horses would go eat in their shed, she would pace a lot and the ground was so dry and dusty, so we decided to set the sprinkler up and let it moisten some of her round pen. She was super curious and was all over it. I was surprised that she was fine with it touching her, although she was definitely a little confused with what it was. I think she did like it though.